But okay, but that's good. That's good that you speak Russian. I'm here to report an incident that I'm aware of.
Okay. What happened?
So I have two incidents to which to report. One happened in Wisconsin. The other, this is with my father, and the other, I'm sorry.
Yeah. What happened?
So what happened with my father is he was voting in the precinct where predominantly Russian elderly people live. And he was being instructed by translators because he and many other Russians who live in this building, they are old, they do not speak English. They are being instructed to fill in bubble for Biden instead of Trump. And he was telling me this was happening with not just him, but many of his friends. And in total, in this complex, there are maybe 750 Russians who live there.
Okay. Do you mind if I take down some information for this?
Yes.
What's your first and last name?
My name is Oleg. And the last name is Deripaska. I spell it for you. D-E...
Do you mind?
I'm sorry?
Do you mind starting from the beginning with the spelling of the last name, please?
Yes, so Deripaska, the last name is D as in dog, E as in Edward, R as in Robert, E, P as in Paul, A as in Apple, S as in Sam, K as in Kim, A as in Apple.
Okay.
Who is talking in the background?
Other people are answering phones.
Okay.
And your phone number, please?
The phone number is, my area code is 615
Okay.
232 1902.
Okay, and do you have an email that would be good to reach you at?
Yes, so my email is luckyrusky@gmail.com. Russky is with two S's.
Okay. At gmail.com?
Yes.
And do you know what zip code in Wisconsin this occurred at?
This was in Madison, Wisconsin, so I believe, give me a moment, I believe my, let's see, he lives in the northern part. I believe it is 53718.
Okay. And let's see. And they were being told to, by the translator, to fill in bubbles for Joe Biden?
Well, they did not know it was Joe Biden they were filling out. They said Trump was Biden and Biden was Trump. Basically, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So they're talking very loudly in the background.
Yep.
Lots of people. Okay.
The mic pickup for.
Do you have what? I'm sorry?
Okay.
Okay, so that is one incident I can report. I have one more for you. Okay, so the second incident is from Detroit, Michigan, where my second cousin lives. He was telling me that they were witnessing. So there is a. Do you know of the airline Aeroflot? So Aeroflot flies one flight to Detroit every day. Okay. Now, in the flight of Aeroflot, as you know, that there is kind of a sinister campaign going on where Democrats believe that Russian interference happening. Actually, the interference is happening on the other side. Let me explain. There were a couple of businessmen in Detroit, Michigan, who cater predominantly to minority communities. They are interested in Biden being reelected. Okay. They were able to obtain through a printing enterprise in Yekaterinburg, Russia, printing of 2,000 ballots that they were able to deliver on Aeroflot because they were able to counterfeit it such that they could be put into machines. They were delivered to the precinct in Detroit and were deposited there. The only reason I know this is because my cousin is member of the club where one of these businessmen was running operation to do this. So they were talking about it in the club, in the coffee club, and this was basically not broadcast to the public, but this is something they were talking about. My cousin told me she overheard this, but because this is more kind of based on what she heard, she wanted to report it to somebody, and because she heard it, she wanted me to report to you.
Okay.
So
All right.
this is in Detroit, Michigan.
And they were speaking about ballots, and
They were speaking of delivery of ballots on a specific Aeroflot. I could even give you, let me look at my notes here. She sent me here. It is Aeroflot flights 103. It was coming from Moskva Sheremetyevo. It landed on Monday, November 2 at 8:53 p.m. in Detroit Airport. The ballots were delivered in bulk in the thousands. I don't know the exact number, but this is what I was told by my cousin.
okay.
So this is the situation. In terms of where it was delivered, I am not sure. However, I have a couple of names of the people, she said, who were discussing this. And this information I can give to you.
Okay.
Okay, there were two people involved in this operation. The first was Roman Abramovich.
Okay.
Do you need spelling of first or last name?
I think I have that one.
Okay, Roman Abramovich. Okay. The second is Mikhail Prokhorov. First name is
They
Mikhail.
don't have the last name there.
Prokhorov is Prokhorov. Prokhorov. They were discussing this operation. Now, so these are the two incidents I am aware of. I would like to ask you now, as member of MAGA team, what can be done to advance, because I report, by the way, the Wisconsin episode, I reported to the local authorities, but they didn't. But they told me they get back to me in 24 to 48 hours. I reported this 2 days ago. So far, I have not heard much regarding translators. Regarding the Aeroflot flight 103, because again, this is not something that I heard directly, I was hesitant to report myself, but this is why I sought to report to MAGA team.
Okay, well, I will get this to our lawyers, and they will do something with it. I'm not sure what.
How does it work? What is typical time for that information?
I honestly do not know.
Well, you do not know. Well, sir, we have to understand
No,
this.
that's up to the lawyers and not me.
No, I understand, but I want to just emphasize one point, if I can. That for years now, 4 years, the Democrats have been vilifying us Russians. Every time I turn on CNN, MSNBC, I always hear them talking about Russians and how they are colluding and interfering. And we want to make a point known to the MAGA team that we as Russians, we support Donald Trump. And there are many of us who support him, not just in Wisconsin, not just in Michigan, but in Pennsylvania even, in Georgia, in Phoenix, in New York. And that is why we think that this is important information to know, that we are not guilty of this crime, but precisely it is the Democrats, demonias, who are guilty of this. And so this is what I want to emphasize to your campaign. Can you take a message to somebody in your leader that we Russians want to have a voice in this, not simply the Americans who claim about the Russians. We are people too.
I can make mention that to my boss.
Is your boss lawyer or who is your boss?
The campaign manager is Bill Stepien.
So that is your boss.
He's the guy, very in charge of everything, yes.
Okay. So Bill, I know him because I read about him in the Pravda magazine last week. I want to say that he is exactly the kind of person who can step up for us Russians. I would love to, because we are in pivotal time now. We have the recounts and all this. If American people knew that Russians support Donald Trump the way that we do in the thousands, maybe even in the 100,000s in this country, there would not be this rhetoric, and this whole voter fraud scheme will be thrown out, completely thrown out of the bush. So I want to honestly, if I could talk to Bill and tell him that there's a Russian community here in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania. I know these people. They are passionate for president, and I can guarantee you that if these fraudsters are exposed for what they have done, Donald Trump would absolutely have won Michigan and Pennsylvania. I don't know about Wisconsin. But this story in Michigan is very, very, very corrupt, because it is also involving Russian airlines, which, by the way, are not helping the Republicans, but are helping the Democrats. Do you understand what I'm talking?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm going to submit this to our lawyers.
Okay. When can I expect call from Bill?
I am not sure. I would be contacting the main campaign to get in touch with Bill easier.
But you said he is your boss, right?
He's a bit higher. I have to go through a few layers that would take some time. But if you contact the main Trump campaign.
Okay, but who is above you? Like, what is the chain of command? So I understand exactly how to relay this message. This is very important.
So I'll go to my direct supervisor, who I'm not going to name.
Okay.
And I'll tell him.
And then he reports to somebody else.
Yeah, it'll get kicked up the chain a few times.
Okay. Understood. Now, lawyers will be calling from different states, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So they have sued two separate lawyers?
The lawyers will be getting the fraud reports from Wisconsin and Michigan.
But I gave you fraud report.
Yes, you did. And I'll be getting it to the lawyers.
Right. Okay. Now, I expect, can I get email who I can follow up with in case I do not hear anything?
You can follow up with the main Trump campaign email, or you can call this number.
I call them. I send them many donations. I send them equivalent of 30,000 rubles every year to that campaign. I take it rubles because I converted. So maybe that equivalent to Harvard money divided by 70. And I sent them the campaign for the last 5 years, and I never heard anything back from the campaign. Even though I'm still very dedicated supporter, I never got anything say thank you, Mr. Deripaska, for your contribution. I never got that.
I'm certain they would have thanked you at least.
No, they thank me. It is an automatic message, right? It is an automatic, Mr. Deripaska. It is not written by the president. It is not written by somebody in your campaign. It is written by some, who knows who wrote that? Maybe somebody in China or India or something.
I'm not certain.
Okay. Do you write those messages?
Yes, we'll submit that, and I hope they get back to you soon.
Okay. What is your name? I'm sorry, I did not catch your name.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't give out names here.
We don't give out names? How do I say? I spoke with her. Do you have an ID number?
No. We're there's security concerns.
Security concerns? Okay. How long have you been there? Have you worked at this as a Trump campaign for a long time?
No. Only a few months.
Oh, okay. So you are MAGA supporter? You are MAGA supporter as well?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please tell Mr. Bill that I am big MAGA supporter. Russians support everything that you are doing, and we hope you continue to support Russian community. And we hope with another 4 years of Trump presidency, we can normalize relations with Mr. with Russia, including with however broken they may be with Mr. Putin, who, by the way, probably have Parkinson's disease, and potentially discussion of annexation.
Well, anyway, sir, I'm glad you called, and hopefully someone follows up with you.
Thank you very much for your time. I highly appreciate it.